Dodge is known for one thing, making cars with mind-boggling horsepower. They've made the Hellcat, the Demon, and even the Neon SRT-4. Now it might seem like that last one isn't as cool as the rest of them, but hear me out. We'll get there. The Dodge Neon started life as Dodge's compact sedan. It was introduced in 1994 and was available in a 4-door sedan or a 2-door notchback coupe. Although it seems like long ago, we're still talking about Dodge. You could even get a dual overhead cam, making a soul-crushing 150 horsepower to the front wheels. The first generation of the Dodge Neon was cool, and there were some cool rare trim levels to go with it. The Neon overall sold well, selling over 400,000 models in just 5 years of the first generation. The second generation of the base Neon would come out in 2000, and it would change everything, except for all of it. It remained mostly the same for the lower models, with the same horsepower figures available in slightly different configuration. In 2003, for reference, 0 years after I was born, a group you may have heard of got to mess with the little slow Dodge Neon, SRT. It stands for Stupid Race Car Team. I don't know. You know, the guys that made the Demon. As you may know, V8s are kind of their thing. So what did they do to the Dodge Neon? They took the engine from the PT Cruiser? Yeah, okay. Fit with a turbo, the car made 215 horsepower when it came out. And a year later, it was bumped to 230 horsepower. They used a new 5-speed gearbox, equal length half shafts, a performance clutch with stiffer springs and struts, larger front sway bars along with a number of other performance enhancing parts. You could even get a rare ACR model. You may have heard of that name before from, I don't know, the Dodge Viper? It had the seats straight out of the Viper, with pass-throughs for a racing harness. That means that Dodge wanted you to take this little economy car to the track, along the way passing every single Miata that made 115 horsepower. It also had a number of other things like cooler wheels and a lowered ride height. Now, SRT wanted to show what they were truly capable of, without having to adhere to all these stupid road legal regulations. They went all out and made a race car. The Dodge Neon SRT-4 Extreme Lightweight is a one-of-one race car produced by Dodge. They wanted to showcase the parts that you could get from Mopar themselves. They used carbon fiber parts and even took out the glass because it was too heavy. Now, the normal Dodge Neon has 4 doors, and this one did as well, but let's play a game. Guess how many seats are in the car with 4 doors? That's right, 1, because race car. You don't need to haul your friends around on the track, you just need to go super fast. That's it, by yourself, lonely, like you, because you don't have any friends to haul around. So honestly, you could have a regular Neon with 1 seat, you wouldn't notice the difference. You might even get a little more storage room. They were able to fat shame the chunky little Neon into losing over 400 pounds. Oh, and it made 360 horsepower in a 2,500 pound car. On racing slicks, it ran the quarter mile in 11 seconds. For reference, the McLaren Senna does it in 10. Yeah, McLaren. Yeah, and maybe this wasn't a production car, but it showed that the little 4-door front-wheel drive Neon could pack a punch in full race mode. So, what happened? Why did they only produce the Dodge Neon SRT-4 for 3 years? Dodge had made this car that was super cheap and fun to drive. The only purpose of a Dodge Neon SRT-4 was the power. They changed nothing about the interior, and it was cheaply made because the car was cheap. While focusing on all of the go-fast parts, they kind of forgot to look at the interior of the car. It fell apart. Like, actually fell apart. The build quality was awful. It was cheaply made, and that was very apparent when driving the car. But there were some people who didn't care and just wanted to go fast. Just like all good things, and statistically half of my viewers' marriages, it came to an end in 2005. The recession was starting to hit, and car companies tried to lower their overhead as much as possible. Cool cars don't exactly bring in bang. And it's a shame too. Car companies today are missing that factor, that some people want to go as fast as possible for as cheap as possible. And I'm some people, okay? That's me. Dodge tried to make a tuner car to compete with the Japanese cars of the late 90s and early 2000s. They wanted a car that would keep up with things like the 200SX or 240SX, whatever it was called at the time, the Toyota Supras of the time, and the FDRX7s and things like that, those turbo 4-cylinder small engine cars from Japan that people were getting their hands on and turning up to make crazy amounts of horsepower. Dodge wanted in on that. They designed a car that could be modified to make tons and tons of power. Not reliably, which is the part they missed, which is what these other companies do that they don't. They're kind of known to blow up. And by kind of known, I mean very known to blow up. And Dodge knew that. They recommend to change the head gasket at 60,000 miles. What? I'm sorry? Overall, they are fantastic cars, and unfortunately, Dodge's successor to the Neon SRT-4 would be the Caliber. So you missed on that one, Dodge. You really did. But as you know, and as I know, SRT would go on to do insane things. Things that, honestly, before they came out, were never even thought possible. 800 horsepower off the lot? What is wrong with you? What were you on when you made that? Come on, man. But the Neons are great cars from a mechanical point of view, not exactly from an interior point of view. But if you own one, they're still great and they sound cool. So if you own one, don't be afraid to drive it fast, but don't blow it up and don't crash it like most Neon owners do. Okay, hope you enjoyed. But maybe you don't like front wheel drive. That's okay, I don't either. Maybe you don't like 4 cylinders. Maybe you like 10 of them. Check out this video here about the Viper. Other than that, have a great day. Subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.